Hello, I'm Caroline Searcy. Welcome to another edition of Bred to Win. Coming up, the final exciting day of the Sydney Autumn Carnival and the stories behind the big winners. A job at Arrowfield stud is one of the most sought after in the breeding world. We hear some great history from Adam Shankley, who's led some of our racetrack champions through the ring as yearlings and welcome them back to the stallion barn where they've left a lasting legacy. And in Arrowfield's Horse Who Made You Love Racing, popular owner Christine Cook with a gregarious grey who made her love horse ownership from her first experience. First though, all the latest from the bloodstock world in our Aushorse news. The final day of the 2022 Sydney Autumn Racing Carnival again provided great highlights for breeders, owners and all associated with another great day's racing.
And She's Extreme flips the result this time. She's Extreme wins the Group 1 Champagne Stakes by a half length to Fireburn.
Golden Slipper and Sires winner Fireburn was seeking Triple Crown glory, but She's Extreme turned the tables in the Group 1 Champagne Stakes with a dominant front-running performance. By the rising star of Australia's stallion ranks Extreme Choice, her Dam Keysbrook is by the Daytime stallion So Secret, who stands at Rangeview Stud after being a group winner in Western Australia. She was sold for just over $30,000 as a weanling at the June 2020 Inglis online digital sale before being on-sold by Willow Park to Anthony Cummings for $275,000 at the 2021 Inglis Easter yearling sale.
But Espiona's starting to open up the shoulders now.
It was a big day for Extreme Choice with Star Thoroughbred's filly Espiona back to her best, winning the Group 3 James Carr Stakes. She was a $190,000 Magic Millions yearling, sold by Torryburn Stud to Star Thoroughbreds and Brett Howard's Randwick Bloodstock, and she hails from the great Waikato stud family of Steps in Time, Glamourpuss and Vision and Power. Extreme Choice, a son of the now retired Not a Single Doubt from the Haunui mare Extremely, has a consistent fertility of around 60% the last 3 seasons, so there are plenty more racetrack stars to come, and he now boasts 7 stakes winners from his 24 winners overall.
Cascadian, those coming to rain on the party.
It was a big day for the Darley Godolphin team with the hugely underrated Cascadian, last year's Doncaster winner, running in his 21st Group 1 contest, taking his second Group 1 in the all-age stakes. From a street cry mare, he's by Darley shuttler New Approach, an Epsom Derby winner who only came to Australia for 4 years from 2009. And the much-loved Kementari, now a gelding, seems to win a good race every preparation, taking the Gilgai in the spring, the Buffering in January, and now the Group 3 Hallmark Stakes in the autumn. His sire Lonhro only covered 54 mares last spring, but his legacy lives on through sire sons such as Piero, Encryption, Exosphere, Impending, Denman and more.
It's Imperatriz going for Group 1 glory again.
In New Zealand, their final Group 1 of the season, the Thoroughbred Breeders' Stakes, went to the now dual Group 1 winner Imperatriz for the Tiakau team and returning trainer Mark Walker. An Australian bred filly by I Am Invincible from the Shamadal mare Berembau. She was bred by Dato Yap's Raffles Dancers and bought by David Ellis from the Beamer Magic Millions draft for $360,000. I Am Invincible is involved in a close battle with last week's triple Group 1 producing sire So You Think, with only around $300,000 separating the pair after Saturday's racing. Inglis is offering mares with some of the world's best pedigrees through Arrowfield Stud's unreserved broodmare reduction as part of its late April sale, with final bidding from April 27. In stallion news, off the back of last week's ATC Oaks winner El Patroness and the deeds of Douay, Incentivise and more, Rosemont Stud in Victoria has announced Seamus Award will stand the new season at a fee of $88,000. And sire of this year's Inglis Easter yearling sale topper, the $3 million brother to Sunlight, Widden Stud's Zoustar has had a significant price rise for 2022. The champion first, second and third season stallion will stand for $198,000, up from $154,000. Our G1 Goldmine analysis this week is of Zoustar. His 27 stakes winners from 438 runners is a strike rate of over 6%, including Sunlight, Zoustar, Lightsaber, Mizzy and Glistening. Interestingly, he's nicked well with mares also with reduced choice in their pedigree, such as Mullane, more.Arrowfield and Zoustar. The Red Ransom and Sons nick, including Sunlight and Brereton, rates an incredible 37%, while the Flying Spur Cross includes Mizzy, the Astrologist and Sun City. The Inglis Graduate of the Week, outside the already highlighted She's Extreme, is Saturday's Daybreak Lover Stakes winner at Eagle Farm, Flying Crazy.
By the 100 metres, Flying Crazy in full flight.
Bred by SF Bloodstock and Matthew Sandblom, the Canberra Guineas winner was sold by Newgate Farm to Will Forrester's WBF Thoroughbreds and Equicom syndications for $40,000 at the 2020 Inglis Classic Yearling Sale. The son of Flying Artie has now won 4 of 10 starts and flew home in typical Flying Artie style to record a second stakes win for Gerald Ryan and Sterling Alexio. His dam Forever Crazy won over $300,000 on the track and is buying Costa de Largo from Fia Morosa, a daughter of Shindig, and full sister to Shinzig and Strata. Time for a break on Bred to Win. Coming up, we go behind the scenes with the record-breaking Arrowfield stud team at the 2022 Inglis Australian Easter Yearling Sale and meet Adam Shankley, a man who's led some of their best bred yearlings through the sales ring and welcome them back as stallions. The Cambridge stud performance of the week came from the New Zealand bred filly Verona, beating a field of males in the Group 3 Frank Packer Plate at Randwick.
And Verona's drawn clear, and Verona win the Frank Packer Plate.
She's by Belardo from the Stravinsky mare Spam a Lot, with Stravinsky having spent many years at Cambridge stud, building a great record as a broodmare sire now. Haunui Farm sold the filly for only $8,000 through Book 3 of the NZB Yearling Sale, and it's a great result for the Chitty family and Haunui, who've had a great run with the young stock of Belardo. He's by Lope de Vega and won the Dewhurst and the Lockinge, and Verona is his 7th stakes winner worldwide. Arrowfield stud principal John Massara is very strong on the womb-to-tomb ethos for the farm's thoroughbreds, and many of their stallions and blue hen broodmares return to the farm after their racing days. Adam Shankley has taken many of their star racetrack performers through the sales ring as yearlings and tended to them as breed-shaping stallions when they return to their birthplace.
$1 million now. At $1 million, I'm going to sell his colt at $1 million, but I'll take 50 before the hammer drops.
Adam, you didn't sort of come from a racing background or a breeding background, but you've obviously developed a fabulous career to be working at, one of the elite farms in the world, Arrowfield Stud. Tell me a bit about why you came to actually enjoy working with horses from when you were young.
My sister had a horse when she was younger and she got thrown off a couple of times, so I got asked to ride it by my dad. So yeah, I just loved going horse riding and yeah, just really enjoyed just spending time horse riding.
And then you did go and work down at Hobson's Lodge down in Victoria, but you also did study early on.
After Hobson's Lodge I did the Wangaratta TAFE course, the 2-year diploma of breeding. The TAFE course taught you a lot about the theory side of it, but there were 3 placements on horse studs, so I got to work at Collingrove, Independent Stallions and then Widden. And then at the end of the course, I stayed on at Widden working there. And
that's again a great grounding, and we've seen so many people in the industry come through spending time working at Widden, because you have to do everything, don't you?
Yeah, I did everything at Widden, yeah. Yearlings, dry mares, yeah, everything.
And then as far as Arrowfield, I mean, the history you have within Arrowfield of In particular, Redout's Choice, just a wonderful champion of more than a generation, but also, Snitzel, you've had Not a Single Doubt, who you led through the ring as a yearling, the Autumn Sun. The stallion side of it is just such an important part of everyone's work at Arrowfield, but is that the thing that you really enjoy the most?
Yeah, I love working with the stallions. Redout's, he was a pretty special part of all of our lives, but when I first started there, we had Snippets as well, so, and then Dan Zero, Flying Spur. He was one of the first horses I liked as a racehorse. I remember I backed him when he won the Golden Slipper, so to come and work with him was pretty special.
And of course he then sired a Golden Slipper winner in Forensics too. How much joy do you get when you watch these horses that you're so close to on a day-to-day level when they do get that sort of success on the track?
Yeah, it's amazing, from the breeding shed, the foaling, all the way through weaning, handling them as foals, yearlings, and then watching them on the racetrack. Yeah, it's what keeps me, going and interested. I love seeing where they end up. Tell
me about Redout's. What was, from a personal point of view, what was so special about him?
He was such a kind horse. He'd do anything for you. So he was just a really kind, beautiful animal. And again, it gets back to that level of success. I mean, he was a champion on the track, and that level of success of the offspring. I mean, the babies are still, the dam sire now, you look at even a Totsu on the weekend, these sort of horses, he's now the grandfather coming through the mare. Yeah, it's amazing to keep watching it, Animo and all these, it's amazing to watch every weekend and to see, he's still, he's gone, but he's still with us. Yeah, and it was so sad. I can see it makes you sad talking about him, but I know you were able to see him just at the end there, and I think it was your son, you have a beautiful photo with him. Yeah, my son and daughter, they came the night before, so yeah, it was great. His son Snitzel, a 4-time champion Australian sire. I mean, the legacy that has been left through the whole of Arrowfield through these stallions is quite incredible. What do you put that down to? I mean, we know John Massara, has a vision of what he wants the farm to be, and there are plenty of people that have advice and work on planning matings and so on. But what is it that makes those stallions so much better than the rest? Yeah, they've got unbelievable temperaments. They're amazing horses to work with. They're easy horses to work with. They don't have any vices in any way. They're just, Snitzel's amazing. He comes in, goes to the paddock, goes to the covering shed, does his job, eats. He's just the perfect horse. He's amazing. And a lot of that, I mean, we're looking at a horse such as, Not a Single Doubt coming off the farm, who you actually took through the ring as a yearling, which is just fantastic. And then he's gone on. He was only a listed winner, but he's become one of our truly great stallions now in Australia, and a broodmare sire, a sire of sires, a Golden Slipper winner, Farnan, and so many more. But it's about the management of these horses when they're young, isn't it? And that's about the people. He was special because he got to come, taking singles through the ring and then having him race in our colours and then come back to the farm, and then I looked after him in the stallion barn, so that was just, that whole course of, coming back around was just great. And then, he's been such an amazing stallion, and that gets back to the people, doesn't it, the staff. It's so important to give these horses a good foundation, and I know you must educate a lot of staff now, having been at Arrowfield for 20 plus years, about the importance of giving them that grounding. Yeah, well, the horses are amazing. Yeah, the staff that we have had, the time I've been there, have been, very good. For myself, when I started there, had Peter Keating and Sam Fairgrave. They taught me, a lot. So yeah, now that's our job now, with all the young kids coming through, is to help them on their way and keep them going in the industry. And there are lots of little routines, that are so important, such as that, when you're coming in and coming out of the barn, to actually say,
you know, coming in or whatever. I mean, safety is paramount, isn't it, for your staff and your horses?
Yeah, it's like especially here at the sales. Yeah, we make sure that we talk to each other and let each other know what we're doing. You know, for horse and for people.
You must be confident, having dealt with these stallions. You have to have a level of confidence in your own horse management. How do you instill that in others? Is that naturally in some people and not in others, or does it come from experience when you watch a young person first working with thoroughbreds?
I think some people naturally can have it, but just with experience over time, you become more confident as you learn more and get to handle the horses more and do that sort of stuff. You become confident as you get more experience.
The issue of staffing in Australia, it's a big issue, isn't it, to get more people to want to work in the industry?
Yeah, it's a big issue, but it's good to see that, you know, the industry as a whole has been trying to do so much to get more young kids involved. So yeah, I think that sort of stuff's very good, yeah.
And how much do you enjoy the job, like the day-to-day? I mean, they're long hours, and a lot of the young people, you know, might grumble about that, but everyone's been through it. What would you say to someone that was looking and going, oh my goodness, I would love to work at Arrowfield? What would you say about the fun of the job?
The hours can be long, but we do have a lot of fun while we're at work. We take our job seriously, but, you know, we do have a lot of jokes and, you know, there's a lot of banter around, so it's not just hard work and serious. It's hard work, but it's a lot of fun along the way.
And do you get to the races much to see the horses? I mean, are you normally sort of watching them back at the farm? Do you ever sort of get a chance on the big days to get up there and see, for instance, the Autumn Sun when he was winning his Group 1s?
Yeah, I try to get to the races as much as I can. Not so much now. I've got 2 teenage kids, but I went for about 5 years in a row, from like when Dance Hero won the slipper, went like 5 years in a row, so Miss Finland, and got to go to all those golden slippers. It was amazing going to, you know, race day experiences. You know, you can watch it on your phone, but if you go to a race meeting, it's a complete different thing.
Can you explain what you think when you're looking at, say, a Miss Finland or a Dance Hero or the Autumn Sun, when they're about to run in a big race and then they win? I mean, that just must be so thrilling.
You get excited. Well, I do every time, you know, you see them going around. I get excited when you see them going around at Sandown on a Wednesday. So, you know, big days are even that little bit more special.
And a horse like the Autumn Sun, I mean, you would have known when you were leading him through as a yearling, you would have known what's gone into him. A son of Redute's Choice, out of a daughter of Galileo, the Aga Khan partnership with JM and the Arrowfield team. What's the pressure like when you lead a colt like that through the Inglis Easter yearling sale ring?
Well, the Autumn Sun, there was no pressure with him. He had all the attributes of Redute's. He was just the most relaxed yearling. I have a picture of him leaving the old Randwick barn, and he's just amazing, has his head down. He was just so relaxed, and he was just like that Redute's Choice temperament. You know, he was amazing like that. I think you can get a feel for how good you think they're going to be. Like he was such a smooth walking horse. He barely makes any noise when he gets along, so yeah, he gave you all those sort of feelings that he was going to be a top horse, yeah.
And so what do you, with so much experience on both the stallion side and the yearling side, what do you like best?
I like doing all of it. I love handling I help do the foal handling as well, so I really enjoy starting them out. And, you know, I like doing it from foals all the way through to, you know, obviously seeing them in the stallion barn as well, so it's great.
You must really love the animal.
Yeah, I love the horses, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is about them, yeah, but the ones I've had to work with, just they've been such kind animals, and they give you your best. They give you their best every day.
So much passion for so many staff with thoroughbreds in their care, and that really shines through in Adam Shankley. Time for a break on Bred to Win. Coming up in Arrowfield Studs, the horse who made you love racing, successful owner Christine Cook.
Oh, well, it has to be a daff. That naughty, naughty grey who used to give us so much grief but also gave us so much fun. An amazing animal, and he's still around. He's still with Gwenda. She looks after him. He's called Cookie. He's gorgeous.
Early experience as an owner, can really whet your appetite. I mean, you know, your involvement with horses now is so huge, with so many horses that you not only race, you breed as well. It really can set that fire alight, can't it?
Oh, it's called drinking the Kool-Aid. It's how good is that? And I don't care where your horse runs, where it wins, a win anywhere is spectacular. And the day that we don't feel like that is the day we'll give it away.
With the women's bonus with Magic Millions, you had, of course, Faraway Town, and she didn't win the Magic Millions Sterile Classic, but I'll never forget you up there and speaking so well on the podium with a really wonderful group of fellow lady owners.
Absolutely, and that all those women stayed in horses time after time after time. And as I said that day, where do you ever win $325,000 plus $10,000 for coming sixth in a race? It was so unexpected and so fantastic. And again, group of women who have stayed in loads of our horses since.
And so they felt the same buzz that you felt with the success of Hidalgo.
Totally, absolutely, absolutely. No, it's an amazing industry. There are so many ways you could get into it. You don't have to spend a lot of money. You don't have to outlay a lot of money. It's the whole thrill of the fact that you are part of that magic winning time.
A great lady and a passionate thoroughbred advocate, Christine Cook. That is Bred to Win for this week. Don't miss next week's show as we hear from the boss of Thoroughbred Breeders Australia, Tom Riley, about some great work being done to assist everyone in our national breeding industry. That's next week. I'm Caroline Searcy. I look forward to seeing you then.